bathroom renovation project, and it was a couple that have a beautiful house. It's a very cool mid-century type of house with regal accent. It's a beautiful place, and it is really stuck in 1950. So as cool as that is with certain architectural details, it's not so great when it comes to kitchens and baths. So this was their master bath that was old, outdated, literally from the 50s, and so it needed better storage, more functional plumbing fixtures, up-to-date colors, improved ventilation systems. So there were a cadre of things that needed to be improved for this client in addition to the overall look. So this client happens to have adorable grandkids. So one of the parameters that she had was she wanted the space to feel luxurious and spa-like for she and her husband to use when, you know, the grandkids and family and friends aren't around, but also be functional for when the grandkids do come by. So having the bathtub as an integral part of the space, in addition to a walk-in shower, were really important components for this end result. And so that was a real challenge because this space, we couldn't really take any space from any other room, so we had to stay within the existing footprint of this bathroom. So it's challenging when we want to add and update and staying within the same footprint. So it's difficult, but not impossible. So what I was able to come up with is a beautiful plan that is spa-like, luxurious, and functional for she and her husband having this beautiful walk-in shower with glamorous tile and beautiful glass walls for the shower area, but also have a spacious tub that's deep and comfy where you could really put 3 or 4 grandkids into the bathtub if you had to. Probably not a great idea, but you could, and give them that functionality as well as the independent shower space. So some of the attributes that she was really looking for, she wanted it to feel light and bright and still kind of contemporary because the architecture of the house is a mid-century modern. So we wanted to stay consistent with that, but also updated. So what we landed on is a beautiful combination of colors and textures to give us that dynamic layering of textures, which I love to do, to make a space feel very comfortable, approachable, and quite tactile, because in a bathroom your skin would come into contact with a fair amount of things. So what I opted to do was to implement a beautiful cabinet that is a slab cabinet door and drawer. So that gives us that modern contemporary edge. But to keep it textural and interesting, we opted to do a foil type of cabinetry. So that gives us the impression, the texture of a wood grain, but it gives us that consistent color story that I wanted, which happens to be a varying color of beige and browns. So we get this beautiful striated effect that also has some texture and some feel to it, which mimics real wood, but it's much more consistent in the look and the colors, which is a fantastic juxtaposition that we're looking for. The organic, but it happens to be not organic. The Taj Mahal quartzite has a warm white color story, and then it has a veining that's brown and beige and a very organic because it's a real product made from Mother Nature. So that adds an interesting composition that, added with this slab front cabinetry, is a very, very compelling and sophisticated juxtaposition of textures and overall looks, but staying within the same color family, a warm color temperature. So to complement that, I opted for Kohler fixtures done in a brushed French gold, which is updated and really trending, and soon to be more and more you'll see these brushed brass tones. And I love the Kohler product, and because of the supply chain issues, we've opted to stick with American-made products because we love American-made, and also it really helps to mitigate any kind of supply chain issues that we've seen as a result of post-COVID. So with that in mind, I did a beautiful Margot design family of the faucet or the sink, an 8-inch widespread faucet, and did the Kohler Margot coordinating accessories, towel ring, towel bar, paper holder, robe hooks. And then in the shower, we did the same Kohler Margot shower head and handheld shower so that you can really get that spa-like experience. But to make things interesting and more dynamic, I opted for an accent tile that has blues and greens and really brings about that essence of the ocean and really conjures kind of a spa-like feeling. But since that's a cool tone, I had to find the right tile to complement the warmer tones in the space, because I always want there to be some continuity with all of the finishes and all of the colors in a space. So this tile in particular has all different patterns and colors in it. So it's primarily this, you know, sort of a sea glass blue, which is calming and comforting and compelling at the same time, but it has these threads of warmth to it. It has some threads of beige and sand tones and brown, which obviously pulls in the cabinetry color story, in addition to complementing the countertop, that Taj Mahal that has that warm white tone. So you can see I'm really threading all of these textures and colors together to create a dynamic and complex layering of textures. And then to go with that accent tile, I opted for a color on the walls that really complements and enhances that sea glass blue-green tonality that is in the accent tile. And to really let that accent tile be the star of the show, I opted to have marble surrounding tiles that are a warm white, very consistent, but still organic. So we're still seeing variations of color within that marble, but that really complements all of the other colors in the space, but supports the blue tile as really being the standout and setting the, you know, the overall design for the space. So to thread that lighter color marble together with the deeper tones in the cabinetry, I opted for a taupe color grout, which helps to delineate each of the tiles, and it really updates the look of the space and is again threading those deeper tones into some of the lighter tones in a really sort of, you may not pick up on it kind of a look, but I love those little details because all of these details come together to create a very interesting, sophisticated, lavish type of space, which is what my client was looking for. And so the original space had 2 sinks in it with 1 large mirror, but there really wasn't enough space to effectively have 2 sinks, but also add the storage that we needed in the space, because to incorporate the walk-in shower and the tub meant that we had to take some of the space that had formerly been a closet, which was ineffective storage. She couldn't see what was in the back of the closet, you know, all of the things that we go through in a closet, right? We know what's in the front, but we don't know what's in the back. So we used that space to add the bathtub there, but I had to incorporate storage into the vanity area. So we have a ceiling to floor cabinet, kind of a pantry cabinet where linen closet, where she has pull-out drawers there and can really utilize all of the space within that cabinetry. But to keep the space feeling modern and almost an homage to the mid-century modern architecture of the space, we have this cabinet that appears to be floating. So it really elevates the look of the cabinetry and the vanity and really brings it up to a more modern look and, you know, just really clean lines. And it's just, again, very compelling and very modern, but still approachable and softened by the color story. So we did a Kohler undermount oval sink, and then to continue on with that modern aesthetic, I opted for this large round mirror flanked by 2 really interesting sconces that have this hammered gold finish with a fabric shade which softens it up a bit because I didn't want it to be cold and too edgy. So using kind of different attributes to give us a modern look but to soften it up at the same time was my goal. And then behind the mirror and behind the sconces that flank the mirror, we continued with that accent tile. So that blue, sea glass green blue tile with the threading of the browns and the sand tones and a little bit of iridescence is behind that mirror on that wall. So really updating it and making it feel, you know, particularly sophisticated and very high end. So our clients love this space. Her grandkids love this space, and she's gotten tons of compliments. So stay tuned for more episodes of Design Diaries. Give me some comments, give me some love. If you have questions, if you have pictures to post of your space, I love talking design. I love hearing about your design journey, and I love answering any questions you might have.